And finally, we get the explanation. It can stop top. It can stop the world. What's good, YouTube? It's Money Monsoon and welcome to the fight analysis for JoJo's Part 3. Now this part is where things start getting interesting because Part 3 is where they add stands. And you know we're only going over the main fight, so we're jumping all the way to Jotaro versus Dio. Yes, a legendary battle in all of JoJo's. When I think of all of the final battles throughout like all of the parts, I think this one is definitely like one of the top. Not just like in terms of stand ability, because like of course the stand ability was already insane, but just like in terms of like the matchup. Jotaro on this long ass journey to save his mother, and Dio, the enemy from part 1 that clutched up against Jonathan and now has his great grandfather's body and still holds a grudge against the Joestars. I'm excited to unpack this fight analysis, but of course I have to say, if you haven't already, be sure to drop a like, and if you really like this sort of content, be sure to hit that sub button because we are not done with the JoJo series just yet. So let's get into the video. I want to say this is where the fight actually starts. Joseph falls out of the sky. That was tough. They're making fun of his ass. And Dio just hops in. And luckily enough, he ran right into Jotaro. He has to get his last message off. He's like, oh. I also think it's just so amazing how they made it such a big deal and that no one knew Dio's ability, and so they have to figure out his ability before they start fighting, because of course the villain's not just going to tell you his ability. And finally, we get the explanation. It can stop top. It can stop the world. Already in an insane moment. Like, we haven't really got to the start of the fight yet, but we already get this absolute banger of the clip. I know this moment has been iconic for its just sound effect, but the animation for this is clean too. And once time stops, Dio could just take his time and do whatever he wants. Ooh, that was just for no reason too. Like, are you serious, Dio? You hate cats that much? So this moment is kind of crucial. Like, Joseph would have died here if he didn't use Hammond. Like, if he wasn't already consistently using Hamon, the ability that is strong against vampires. Even as Dio stopped time, he's using Hamon to protect his body. So that's why Dio has to use some other way to kill him or attack him than physical attacks. And of course he pulls out his first knife. Now why does he have a knife? I don't know. He pretty much lived in his own mansion, his own terrain, and so I'm assuming like just around the house he had just a bunch of small knives or something, and he's like, oh, this is a clean weapon of preference. So here goes the first one. This looks like just a sharp kitchen knife too, funny enough. And there it goes. Joseph's still living here is kind of crazy. Like, he has a knife in his neck. It must be really hard for him to breathe or talk, but he's trying to make sure Jotaro gets the mission done. Like, oh, please don't get near him. He can stop time. He can do whatever he wants, which is a crazy ability already. Last words from the old man. He's invincible. If that's not already terrifying. And now another absolute banger, iconic moment in this fight. Like, they haven't thrown a punch yet, and we're already getting to the second iconic moment of the fight, which when I say iconic moment of the fight, this might as well be like one of the biggest moments in anime history. Dio. I love this audio, bro. Ho ho. Ooh. And this is one of those moments where, like, if you don't have a stand ability, it just looks like two weirdos standing near each other just doing something random. Your stand is similar to my stand. This might have been one of those moments in this show that like people are like, okay, bullshit, because we know what this leads to. Jotaro's stand ends up also being able to control time. It's like, oh, we have similar stand abilities. I think some people are still mad about it to this day, but like honestly, he didn't use any sort of other stand ability up until this point, and he was like really chasing after Dio for what felt like 50 episodes. So I think this was valid. Now they're just comparing. This is just like, you know, two guys. At this point, they're talking to like, oh, I always wanted to compare my stand to yours. Like, imagine this as any other situation. Just two guys maybe comparing their cars. Like, oh, my speed faster than yours. Or two athletes comparing their strength. Like, they're really just antagonizing each other. But like, really, for a second, they stop thinking about their mortal enemies. It's like, yeah, I want to compare my strength to yours. Because I know I'm better. It's just a funny way to start the fight, I'm not gonna lie. Ooh. Clashing for real. Right? Like, so we're flying now. At first, I assumed that the clashes of their punch were so heavy that like they're kind of picking themselves up off the ground. Kind of like how in Minecraft, where if you get hit, you get knocked back and you could just like keep going up. That type of thing. I soon found out that wasn't the case. He just kind of started flying out of nowhere. Ooh. The funny part about this punch right here, his stand completely gets punched, and you see how Jotaro is just like completely trying to hide any sort of expression, but he's coughing out blood. But he's still trying to seem like a badass, like, yeah, I got that, didn't hurt at all. Time stops once more. So Dio's in stop time. And the first moment that gets him shocked. How does he see his finger twitching? I don't know. I mean, obviously it would be the only thing moving in stop time, but like the fact that he saw that, like Dio was really on his guard. It twitches once more. And that one finger twitch has Dio so spooked. Which, I mean, that's actually really valid. For Dio to be spooked at all this fight, it is really valid because someone moving in stop time? That's ludicrous. Time's up. And so Dio doesn't do anything that time's up except get behind Jotaro. And now he just has Super Saiyan aura, and now they're flying throughout the city. Like, that's new. Now, to catch up, because Dio can catch up to Jotaro at any moment he chooses. He stops time once more. It was because of the magnet that was moving his hand. Which, even that still wouldn't really make sense. Because his fingers were twitching, not his arm moving. So Jotaro really was moving in stop time here. It was just that the magnets were a distraction. But yeah, it really does have Dio fooled. He's like, oh, yep. Looks like he can't stop time. Oh, he's going in for that lariat attack. I punched straight through Dio. And Dio kind of is like too shocked to move here. Like, he still has the advantage. Because he's a vampire. He could still keep punching Jotaro and get an advantage. But he's now being overloaded with this shocking information. Someone else could move and stop time? As Jotaro's hand is still in his stand. Which is funny to me. Advantage Jotaro. Like, what a landing. Leg chopped off by the glass. Like, Dio's getting all sorts of fatality here. Go fetch me my leg. And what's Dio gonna do if she doesn't? I mean, he could do anything. But at this point, I assume that if the girl fetches Dio's leg, she's gonna die anyways. Anything she does, she's probably gonna die. Yep, she's gone. Who could have predicted that one, huh? This stop time is so funny to me. Because, like, this time, they don't show us the perspective. Like, usually they show us the stands, they show us everything. All they show is that Dio moved, and Johto knows exactly where he is. He turns his head immediately. Dio uses stop time just to get up on a lamp. And once again it happens. Dio's just changing his position. Why? Because it looks cool. Like, no other reason. Now Dio reveals how many knives he has. You can't even really count it because, like, he's just stacked. There's like 5 in each hand. There's probably around 20 on his belt. How was he hiding this the whole time? I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it, it's actually possible that Dio used to stop time while he was places to just pick up knives. Like, I really feel like he didn't have all these knives on him. He was just picking them up from the restaurant, picking them up from wherever. Like, because the store he crashes into right here, you can see it's like, it's all plates and stuff, like dishes. Now, would there be knives where there are dishes? Maybe. Maybe. And, if you can tell, these are different knives than the knives he used on Joseph. Because the knife he used on Joseph did not have the brown handle. It had a silver handle. I don't know where he's getting these different types of knives, but he's getting the knives. Jotaro is just trying to get some space in the air. And there they are, the knives. Another iconic attack, not as iconic as the last few things, but this is crazy. He throws every single knife, or this was, I don't even think this was every single knife, because look at this. Well, I'm actually not going to count. I was really going to look at this and start counting. We know that this is a lot of knives. If I had to guess, it looks like around like 50. And he has more knives. Unfortunate, only able to move a few knives. This is proof of your short-lived abilities. This line alone means that Dio did this whole thing. He threw the knives at Jotaro just to test out how long he can move and stop time. Because he would need to move longer than a second to actually block all of them and to actually defend himself. But no. We gotta put that to the test in the worst way, in the most sadistic way possible. This is tough. It's actually possible that Jotaro could have blocked these knives. I think he didn't block those knives on purpose. I kind of forgot because of the books in his chest or whatever. He had stuff on his person to block that stuff to ensure that the knives don't actually pierce his skin. But it looks like some of the knives, like the knife on his leg, he did let get through. Maybe he planned it out, but not to the complete extent. One more just in case is crazy. Horrible landing. But this part of the fight is pretty clean because Jotaro does this on purpose to fake his death. Just to get another advantage on Dio. Because look at all the things Jotaro has done to get an advantage on Dio. He put a magnet on Dio's person to make him believe that he could move and stop time, but proof that he couldn't, and then actually moves and stop time, and now he has to fake his own death. Like, the openings on Dio are so slim, and that's what makes Dio such a clean villain, because you have to do so much just for an opening. It's crazy. He's not taking any risks. That's how locked in Dio was. Dio hops down. As they say, one can never be too careful. It's such a hater. This is a biggest hating moment. Like, I actually do agree with this. Strike them while they're down just to make sure you finish the job. But, like, goddamn, bro. Dio does not give Jotaro any time to breathe. Picks up the stop sign to chop off his head. Jotaro stressing. And I think it's only because Dio didn't really expect it. He didn't use his ability right away, like his stop time. Like, he could have used stop time as soon as he went for the attack, which would have made it even harder for Jotaro to counter. Knife to the brain still does affect Dio in a way, so he had to use the stop time immediately after that. That's tough. Now Jotaro has left with the choice to save Poneglyph or get that opening on Dio. Even a worse predicament than just Dio trying to chop off his head. And all he needed to do is twitch his hands again. And Dio was so unlocked. He's like, no, I'm not letting this shit happen again. Like, immediately fly to watch over his body. There's someone I'd like you to shoot. He can aim for any part of Jotaro's body. What if he aimed for, like, the nuts or something? But no, yeah, he only the side of the body. This is when you know Star Platinum is so clutch. Precision and accuracy. That sick bastard. He had to stop himself from breathing and stop his heart. And now he has to re-pump up his heart before Dio goes for that strike. Yep, you're within range. And look how pissed off Star Platinum is here. Yeah, you know you're gonna get it. You pretty much made him stop his own heart. Tank a bullet. Jotaro is definitely pissed. Oh, not quick enough. From Dio's perspective, a dead body came back alive and countered him. Like, yeah, no, I'd really hate on the Joestars. Doing stuff like that. He checked for his heartbeat, he checked for his breath, and now this body's moving again. He even shot the body. And this body comes back alive and hits him in the head. And that is some crazy contact. And the crazy thing is, Jotaro really only did need this one hit on Dio to really mess him up. Like, now he can't even get up. Nervous system is all messed up. He doused him with the gasoline. Where did he get that gasoline from? There was just a bucket of gasoline on the side of the street. I hate to kick a guy when he's down, but... well, I don't give a damn. That goes hard. He's speaking. He's speaking. Stops time so he could grab onto the car, which was just enough for Dio to get away. This is the knife throw of a century. This is like football stance and everything. Cuts the tire. Jotaro does not care about that dude that was driving the taxi. Rip. Pops the tire and leave Dio defenseless, like rolling on the ground. But Dio's just really lucky because he landed right next to the sewers. But can you really call this lucky? I don't even know how Jotaro got there that fast. Spot's taken. You're not getting away. Why do they always just say like the hardest things? Now we really get classic Jotaro. Launching him hella far away. But apparently this is all a part of Dio's plan the entire time, right? But no, yeah. Dio gets right to the Joestar blood. Now we have a completely healed and renewed Dio. What do we think about the new fit? I don't know. Like this one, he does look a lot weirder than before now. He looks bulkier too. But it's just because he doesn't have his jacket. This is what I like to call Dio just tweaking out. He gets the new blood, he's really just scratching his head open. Like, come on now. Jotaro goes up flying again. Ooh. Jotaro is not holding back anymore. Yeah, it's tough for Jotaro. Breaking bones there. Threw a sign too. And this is a clean maneuver of Dio. The stand kick, the stand drop kick. Oh. Yeah, he was comboing Jotaro. And starts it up again. And this is probably one of the creepiest parts of the fight. Dio just disappeared after stopping time, and he still is counting out the seconds. Jotaro doesn't have any idea where he is, he's just waiting to counter, right? Because he only has 2 seconds to counter, so you can't waste it. He doesn't know what is in store for him. Oh, now he knows. Which is crazy. Dio punching downwards, Jotaro punching upwards. It's futile. And now he can no longer move with stop time. So it just looks like he's crushed, right? And he still hasn't unstopped the time. He's celebrating his victory in stop time, which is the craziest thing. Whoops. Shouldn't have been celebrating so much. And now he knows exactly how Jotaro feels with that stop time. Which, this is the funniest part of the fight, the craziest part of the fight too. If you still think about it from Dio's perspective, he's always been able to move in the stop time. Now, he can't move in the stop time. And he's gonna start bugging. And let's see who can move. Somehow still alive. He grabs his shoulder. I don't know why he's not just finishing him off. They shouldn't underestimate each other. But you know, Jotaro does have the advantage right now. And it looks like he just does one blow. Now Dio's not giving up. Not at all. Flex is just enough to get blood in Jotaro's eyes. If I was Jotaro, I would use this as a moment to just still keep my eyes open through the blood. Like now you could actually say you're seeing red. Because you are. But nope. He just wins with his eyes closed. Counter. I don't know how this blow pretty much breaks Dio's whole stand here. Like, this is an insane punch. Broke his whole hand to break Dio. With his eyes closed too. That was the craziest part about the whole punch. That last punch. is that he did that with his eyes closed. So that's how Jotaro wins. Still a pretty insane fight. We don't have the complete logistics on like how or when you could stop your time. If you could stop the time, unstop the time in the stop time, and then start the stop time up again. Like, we don't have the complete logistics of everything, it feels like. But Jotaro clutching up here was clean. Everything was just absolute peak. Again, with JoJo fights, it doesn't actually take that many blows to win. Jotaro only really needed like one good hit at Dio's head to get the advantage. With all that said, that entire fight, like, there's a lot of iconic moments in that fight. Now, this would be a 10 out of 10 if not for like them flying out of nowhere. I really feel like Dio should have been the only one who could have flew, because he flew in past parts. He was flying because he's a vampire, but now he's flying because of the stand. Jotaro doesn't fly in any other parts. He's in part 5, he's in part 4. He doesn't fly then. Him flying now just seems kind of weird. But every other part of the fight seemed great. Dio wasn't letting up his guard, and even with Dio not letting up his guard, Jotaro still got through. I really liked how this fight was made. Definitely a 9.5. The iconic moments of the fight really carry that 9.5. Them flying out of nowhere should like put the rating down a lot more than 9.5 than a 0.5, but the iconic moments bump that number back up. That's my thought process to that. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of the fight. There's definitely a lot more I could have talked about in this fight, but that's all I'm gonna get through. If you enjoyed the fight analysis, be sure to drop a like, subscribe. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.